Okay, so here's what I've learned in the past years. Videos that take me months to produce, actual garbage. Videos that I can make within a week, literal gold, by my standards. Like this. Why is this video so popular? This is an April Fool's video where I didn't even know how to convert JPEGs into PNGs, and my comedy is outright horrible. Why are you subjecting yourself to this content? I mean, I offered to cosplay as Chard though. Only a quarter of the way there for my subscriber count. So I guess this garbage series has some milking potential. So let's spin the wheel of topics so I can make up on the spot. Okay, perfect. This is Pizza. He's the warp... Has it been 15 seconds yet? Okay, cool. Bitch that asks for stupid stuff like pine cones and whatever these sugar stars are. Looks cringe, but I don't care. But you know, let's fill this sucker out with a ranking list. Why not at this point? This guy can be happy with playing this dumb game. Why can't I do something similar? Wait, does this joke work when I'm the only person doing this is me? And I'm also making this video?
We're filming!
Okay. The ranking is simple. Is the warp point useful? Then it's higher. Don't understand? Then go back 5 or 10 seconds just to explain it again. Okay, let's get started. 63rd, upon its back, Erd. It's at the bottom because it's literally unusable. Sure, it's a free warp point, but the only one that prevents literal toddlers from getting stuck. And you can't use it after Tectos is dead. Oh no, the main character of the area is dead. What was us? 62nd, Plateau of the Giants, Erd. For the actual warp points, this one's a waste of a sugar star. I mean, it's a quick way to get back from fighting some space police, but there's no enemies on this route, so it can't hurt you unless you interact with the wormholes. And it's essentially worthless to go back for it. 61st, Quinoa Plains, top cliffside on Buffoon. The only use for this warp point it has is to tell the actual player that there's a chest on the other side that needs to be pushed off. Other than that, it's completely useless. You can't even go back without encountering a single foe. Garbage. 60th, Spalk Swamp, middle, near the Ice Islands, Dark Realm. Actually, why does this one exist? There's literally warp points on Ice Island and Masala Chai Village. I guess if you want to use the boat, I mean, it's neat, but it's still garbage. 59th, Spalk Swamp, middle, near PB&J, Dark Realm. He doesn't have anything to say? So what's the point here? So technically there's no pizza here, Sag, but it's still a warp. I mean, you can find an edgy spirit and some frogs, but it's actually worthless. Still no pizza though, meaning that it's very, very useless. 58th, Granule Isle, Docks, Cassia. This is similar to the one in the Dark Realm and MV, but factually more useless. The only reason it's higher is because I don't get to see the unholy waste of a character. I hate this bug so much, dude, like look at him. 57th, World Scene, Middle Caves, Raisin. Why would you ever want to use warp here? The warp point is more of a checkpoint than anything else. I can't really say that it's useless, but you only use it once and that's it. Next entry. 56, Sugarleaf Plains, Southern, Nova. Same with this one, except this one's an easier way to fight the Path of 5 Worgen enemies if you haven't completed their entries in the bestiary. I mean, it can be useful. 55th, Cocoa Butter Valley, Chocolate Milk Caves, Shadra. Again, not useless as a checkpoint, but do you really want to warp to a point where they'll never be bothered to pick up the remains of their friends?
What
like,
is
that's
that?
actually just disgusting, dude. Pick up your friends and throw them off the cliff. 54th, Land of Darkness, Southern, Abyssal Realm. Useful for a checkpoint, like one of the worst areas in the game, so it's better than the actual checkpoint warps in the series, but it can't beat the significantly better warp point in 53rd, Land of Darkness, Northern, Abyssal Realm. Yeah, it's literally the same as the last one, and it's closer to our destination. Awesome. Moving on. 52nd, Spalak Swamp, North, Dark Realm. I honestly don't have a good use for this one, except there's a few spirits you could find around here, and it's a solid place to grind pine cones. D tier at best. 51st, Cold Honey Palace, Light Realm. It would be much better if the warp point was actually not 20 million miles away from the actual dungeon part, but no, you'll probably face up to like 4 battles if you go the most optimal path. I hate you, Pizza. 50th, Outside Arco, Abyssal Realm. It's same as the last one, but it's better than the previous entry because you actually have to face one battle instead of multiple, and you'll probably use it frequently because I hate this dungeon more than I hate my own life. 49th, Forest Cave Entrance, Life Realm. This is the first warp point, but you'll probably never use it again after the first instance, but it's a good way of teaching you the mechanics of warping. Thanks, Pizza, you're awesome. So this is number 49. I'm reading off a script. This is very easy to tell. 48th, Raykar Quarry, Light Realm. Aside from the single Zappy Spirit, which requires you a Gummy Frog to get anyways, you can get a neat magic doll and see how it works. Otherwise, you can't pass here unless you have Mocha, and I'm too lazy to get him. 47th, Where the Stars Sleep, Erd. This one isn't bad, just outclassed by all the other warps on Earth. You'll likely never use it again because it has a much better warp to the mole caves somewhere else. We'll get to that much later. 46, Dragon Beat, Cassia. Aside from some helpful radishes and grinding out the enemies for the bestiary entries, you'll never really do anything here unless it's earlier in the game. Plus, the dungeon itself is blocked off forever. Next, 45th, Eye Silent, Dark Realm. I forgot this was even a location on the map, but it's fine. You can grind some piranha here for coins, but there's way better
locations
for that type of grinding, because you'll not constantly run into enemies left and right. 44th, Mount Mortimer Entrance, Dark Realm. This warp point is out of the way and very obscure, so I'm pretty sure no one even knew that this was even a warp point. But it's useful to get to Mount Morbius over here. Oh, there is lava here that can hurt you. Or magma. I don't care, it just hurts us. 43rd, Jalapeno Wasteland, South Capsum Caverns, Raisin. Wow, that's a long title. Again, it's a warp to a dungeon. It's not that bad, it's not good, it's mid, and that's it. 42nd, Abyssal Corridor, Entrance, Abyssal Realm. Here's the entrance to the worst dungeon in the series, and it's okay. The exit is a lot burier for various reasons, but it is pretty. The outside is a lot more just a desert though, so it's probably lower. 41st, Abyssal Corridor, Exit, Abyssal Realm. It's the same warp, but it has an HP and MP pot for more useful healing and a warp back to the checkpoint in the later path of the Land of Darkness, so I guess it's useful. 40th, Treeman Colony, Dark Realm. Show of hands, do you even remember the Treeman? If you said yes, you're lying, or you're this guy who sims for Madeline. This place doesn't even have anywhere to heal up, so it's completely garbage. I mean, I guess it is the best place to get to the Enigma Forest and some piranha grinding, but it still sucks. 39th, World Scene, South, Shish Kebab Caverns, Raisin. This wouldn't be a bad one because it's a warp to a dungeon, but realistically, you have to go down the entire dungeon to even use the putty peas you found to get to the end of the dungeon so you can actually use them. And this dungeon is like 5 million floors and very boring, so I'm just not gonna bother with it. 38th, Outside Totoff Mines, Dark Realm. Instead of being a single entrance in a dungeon, which the dungeon sucks without the character like Candy, but it's also an exit to a dungeon, and I'm not even bothered to look up the name of this one. Cool. 37th, Poblano Cave, Raisin. I didn't even know this cave had a name, but it's cool. You can get some gummy worms if you're talented, some tips from some radishes, and if you head northwest, you'll find some frogs. Very epic. 36th, Outer Drazake, Abyssal Realm, the final dungeon area, and it's good. There's an HP and MP pot, but the dungeon itself is super long and annoying to go through, so you can get to the final boss. But c'est la vie. 35th, Wholesome Village, Dark Realm. Remember the Shish Kebab Caverns and how long it would take to get to the putties themselves and be useful? Well, you could just warp here and do it faster in MV. It's so good, even the translators didn't even bother translating it all. And it's also a good halfway point going through the eastern part of the Spalak Swamps. Pretty good. 34th, Carbonara Jungle, Salamander Hole, Grind. This is probably the worst area for healing, but you can actually stop in for a heal. However, the other services are non-existent. I mean, you can look at birds. That's kind of neat. But all these salamanders are mean to my boy Chai, and if you're mean to Chai, you are not awesome. I love him so much. I love my boy Chai. He tells you to like and subscribe, obviously. 33rd, Sugarleaf Plains, North Nova. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna avoid this, like, April Fool's bit, because it's actually, like, the best, worst warp point in the game. What I mean by that is like, the amount of times you're gonna be using it is useful, and there's also, like, a shop that you can buy at, and there's also healing pots as well, but, like, it's the closest warp to the Glacini Caves, and my god, this is a terrible dungeon. Just look how long it takes me to just get down a few floors. So, it's literally the middle of the list for that reason. Wait, was I supposed to be ironic, or... 32nd, Cocoa Butter Valley, Krogamar Caves, Chandra. This is the final dungeon entrance, and it's quicker to get to, and the final dungeon itself is a lot shorter and has better rewards inside. And also healing stuff. I'm already getting bored of this list, dude. We're just halfway done. 31st, Granule Isle, North Pyramid. You have some weaker enemies and multiple entrances to a dungeon. You can see some dead water people. I guess that's cool. So you can also avoid the long walk from the coral and outside avoid battles. And yeah, it ain't that bad. 30th, Conscious Ruins, Buffoon. I always found this warp point to be strange because usually warp points are like halfway through these like areas, but this one is even in the halfway mark. You're like 25 to 30% done with it all, but it fits with the weird dungeon aesthetic that the area is going for. So fight me on this placement. Spoiler alert, you'll lose. 29th, Conscious Ruins, Entrance, Buffoon. This is literally the same one, but it's actually at the start, and you can see a very cute chicken wearing a diaper. And you can say hi to Master Macadamias too. That's neat. 28th, Westernmost Ruins, Light Realm. This is probably the best spot for grinding piranhas. No enemy encounters, just a peaceful sky dungeon to farm these fancy fish for money. It sounds a lot better than it actually is. I hope you're rich! 27. Pyramid Entrance, Abyssal Realm. This is the better version of the Cold Honey Palace because the enemy spawn rates are actually lowered. Some great rewards too if you have the spirits with you. Though this dungeon isn't fun to figure out the first time around unless you have a very long guide with you. But whatever, it's still a solid warp that you'll use very frequently. 26. Waymont Desert, Dark Realm. Probably the best warp of these dungeons in the entire series because well, not only it will lead to the 3 worst dungeons in the entire series, but you also get access to the Aquabit Castle, where you can easily get some spirits. Yes, it's called Aquabit Castle, not Aquavit. If you say Aquavit, you are
a loser.
Wait, I just said that. Wait, no, hold on. 25th, Crossroads, Earth. It's a crossroads to get to the quickest way to get to the ship's graveyard and still get some loot that you haven't gotten there before. But there's literally a warp point to the left screen. So who programmed it here? I'm confused, I'm scared, and I'm literally crying right now, so help me figure this out. I'm sorry if I called you
a loser.
24th, Cocoa Butter Valley, Entrance, Chandra. Not a great location to sleep because there's actually no beds around and there's little demon babies roaming around. But you can get a great shot of useful healing from these pots and some very quick access to the Light Planet. So this is very adequate. 23rd, Quinoa Plains, Middle, Master Macadamius, Buffoon. It's a free entrance to the dungeon, it's some worms, only in the early game, and you get some free experience from my boy Master Macadamius. So nice for him to drop by. Say something nice to him in the comments section. 22nd, Carbonera Jungle, Tropica Exit, Gren. I mean, this is also a dungeon that has a warp point to the start, but it's also close to a village. But it takes you much longer to get to the shop and inn, so it's probably bad, but at least get you close to Galon. She's cute, and no one can have her. She's my girlfriend, not yours. 21st, Outran Village, Light Realm. It's probably the least useful village in the entire series, so it's probably fine for the most part. But who wants to go to a village to see their dead marionettes lying everywhere? But at least they have a good inn with some cozy beds. And hey, I found someone who steals your money. Coolio. 20th, Tangerine West Beach, Cassia. It's okay. I mean, it's close to your ship and it has the beach. I mean, nothing more else to say. There's lots of radishes. Jesus, it's becoming harder and harder to actually say stuff about these. 19th, Jalapeno Wastelands, West, Paella, Raisin. This is a good warp point, until it isn't. The ship gets moved somewhere else, so it's really useful in the mid-game. The town of Paella is also very cool too. And they have bunk beds. That's awesome. 18th, Forgotten Land, Erd. Not only does it match with the names of one of my favorite games on the Switch, it's also a quick and easy place to warp to get you off the planet and onto your ship. Not to mention it's a fast way to see all of our spiny mole friends. Yay! 17th, Quinoa Plains, Bottom, Honeymint, Buffoon. I hope you like the old-fashioned towns due to poverty issues, because that's Honeymint white caramel fudge flake with melty butter and syrup and whipped cream on top. And yes, it's high up for that name and only the name. Hay beds are very uncomfortable, but I love seeing your boy Brioche. 16th, Villa de Solis, Light Realm. Hehe, funny that, people. This isn't a healing area, but there is an HP and MP pots, and you can also get some useful stickers for the price of gummy frogs. It's just a bad dungeon over here. And that's what I'm noticing a lot about Magical's level design in general. 15th, Ufot Village, Light Realm. You can get some useful equipment and some useful knowledge on the magic dolls you can use. Unfortunately, you can't get much farther unless you get a sarcastic spinning robo friend, who I'm still lazy to get right away now. But hey, these are some nice beds for some dwarves. 14th, Port Piscado Docks, Cassia. A peaceful, docky location to settle down and see our nicer otter friends. Not great equipment, but it's an overall peaceful area and is a refreshing change of pace. Just don't stand here when it gets all cold. 13th, Carbonera Jungle, Tropica Entrance, Gren. It's a better than the last one because it has all the same things, but it's closer to your ship. So that's already a better benefit. Do I really need to explain more of this one? 12th, Masala Chai Village, Dark Realm. Cute doggo land. And this area has some solid equipment, a cozy room to stay in, and a pretty great place to stay at. Except you're the elder of the village who denies love, which is cringe! 11th, Tapioca Tea Village, Dark Realm. It's more feelings, and they're so cute in this game. It may look like a very hot desert, but it's nicer because I'm a degenerate furry. But hey, whatever, this is my list and I don't care. They're very cute. It has useful inn and some useful items, whatever. 10th, Gazpacho Village, Abyssal Realm. Many pods and many confusing twists and turns, but I really do love the look of this place. Useful locals and even more useful items and equipment pieces. I like this place. The pods can't stop me from doing something illegal, because they don't have hands. 9th, Rio Villa, Erd. The best war point on Erd, and it's overrun by freaky robots. It's a good grinding area for mid-game, and it's a pretty good overall area just for a quick walk to get all the other important areas on the planet. Just don't sleep in the inn. I heard metal beds aren't really that comfortable. 8th, Assam, Gren. I know chilling with the bad guys isn't the best idea, but it's technically a home invasion on our end, so it checks out. But it's got some solid inn usage, and it has a really awesome shop clerk only in the nighttime. Though it's very pricey, so be careful. 7th, Quinoa Plains, Top, Buffoon. Solid equipment pieces, a booming soundtrack, a very great shop for equipment, and an overall zesty feel to it all. It almost has everything, though it takes a while to get back up to the ship. 6th, Banarakashi Palace, Buffoon. Solid equipment pieces, a booming soundtrack, a very great shop for equipment, and an overall Wait, did I already say this already? Probably because it's so useful. 5th, Green Team Village, Light Realm. Now this placement might be weird because it's outclassed by all the other villages, but it's super wholesome. You don't even have to pay for the inn. You just need love. Aww. Also, there's a hot spring nearby. That's hot. I mean useful. I mean unique. I mean, whatever. I'm weird. 4th, May Village, Abyssal Realm. Great village in MV. Great shop, many grind cones for grinding, solid spot on the map, and it has an inn. Though it takes a while just to actually get to sleep. But it's probably the most wholesome place in the Abyssal Realm after you save them on the pyramid. 3rd, Habanero Road, Raisin. It's not exactly a war point on a village, but it's close enough by so you can actually get there. But it may not be a versatile area, but it's the shop that lies the true gold. You can buy elemental bombs, which are only in this area of the game, though it would be number 1 if there wasn't a long climb to get to the top back to your ship. I mean, jeez, gravity sucks, am I right? 2nd, Abo's Village, Dark Realm. By far the best village in MV. It's a useful place to heal up, talk to the nearby clearly translated town folks, who are very cute, and of course get the elemental bombs. And it would be number 1, but it doesn't really feel like home for the most part. Unlike number 1, 1st, Granule Isle, Ambergris Prep, Cassia. It may not be the Will-O-Wisp Academy, but it's certainly a fresh and wholesome area for the 2nd best school in the universe. It has light and dark bombs for useful versatility, an inn, and a useful shop, and even a guide to upgrade one of our spells. It certainly has it all. And that is why the Ambergris Academy is the number 1 spot on the ranking warp points video. Just kidding! Number 0, the Magic School Bus from MagicalVacation! Wahoo! Now it doesn't have pizza, but you can still warp to it anywhere. The Light Realm is probably the most useful because it leads to the Hot Spring, a village, and 2 dungeon entrances. In the Dark Realm, it has some great rewards such as tails and dungeons like the swamp and the volcano. And the Abyssal Realm, well, I mean, it is the Abyssal Realm you can warp to. Let's talk about what it actually does. You can move around. You can heal up for free. You can switch your party around. You can scavenge items. It has it all. You can technically go home whenever you want to, but we really need to complete the game for that. Does this break the rules? Probably, but I don't care. It's my video and my rules, so I hope this video gets 500 more billion views, and if we reach 1 zillion subscribers, I will eat my own shoes. Anyways, now I'll warp out of here. See you later. Like and subscribe!